So if you don't know, take a closer look at this question. So I'm gonna show you. This is a rocket problem. We're gonna cover up in legal to post on internet. Right there. No, no, you don't see it. Zoom me. So a camera is mounted 3,000 feet away from the rocket. So which part is 3,000?
Base.
The base. Good. So that's 3,000. What else is giving? 400 feet, 4,005, 4,000. And this is 3,000 and 4,000. Obviously, this 3, 4, 5 triangle, they are in a ratio. You don't really want to do 3,000 square. Please don't do that. So this is 5,000. That's that. Just 3, 4, 5 triangle. I don't really need to evaluate that. And also, I'm going to write different color. This one, dy dt is equal to 800. So this is a y, this is a x. Any questions here?
Doesn't matter what variable you use.
You can use whatever variable you use. Just don't try to be too cute. I think x, y is fine. For me, I always use x, y just because I can see that's x and that's y, so I don't get confused. You can use a and b. Okay, so the thing about it is there's 3 type of trig ratio. Actually, there's 6 type of trig ratio that you can use. There's sine, cosine, tangent, cotangent, cosecant, and secant. So you can use any of those, longest constant on the bottom. Constant is your friend. I hear Emil say the best at tutoring. She said if you take a 2 random picture when the rocket is shooting up, the distance that doesn't change is going to be a constant. Does that make sense? If you take two pictures 2 seconds after the other, there's only one distance doesn't change. Which one? Is it between the camera and the launcher? Does that make sense? So this is gonna be your best friend. So we're gonna call it besties. So bestie is always gonna be bottom of ratio. Okay, it's always gonna be on bottom of ratio. Please use that one. I'm gonna show you. You do not have to use bestie on the bottom, but I hear if you don't, then what's gonna lead to that? Yes, Emil.
What happens if a problem doesn't have any constant?
It doesn't have any constant, then it's gonna be you're gonna have to start working little by little. So you're gonna have to figure out what is the HDT is and stuff like that. It's possible because if you won a math competition, then I will ask you. I will say, hey, if I go on air balloon and I drop a rock, and the air balloon is going up at a certain speed, and if I drop the rock at a certain speed, I want to see how fast the shadow is moving of the rock, not how fast the rock is moving. It's how fast the shadow is moving. Then that's gonna be a different story. You got different things that you have to think about. Okay, so is that how to spell bestie?
Yeah.
Oh. No, besty.
It's
Is IE? TIE?
Wait, that was one.
Bestie?
That's high. Oh, wait.
Bestie. Okay.
That's high.
Best tie.
But it's pretty
Okay, so sine of theta is equal to, well, in this case, we're gonna call this z. So in this one, it's not pretty because z, no, so it's not z, it's y over z. And if it's y over z, if I do the d to the dt is gonna be cosine of theta, d theta dt is equal to low d high minus high d low over low low. And this is just ugly to start with. First, why it's ugly? Because you need to find out z and you need to find out y. Second, you need to find out dy dt and dz dt. Do we have both? Yes, we do. We have all the information and you can plug in all this. And then you're gonna get an answer that's exactly like, but there's so much to plug in. We want to simplify everything. So think about what is simplify everything is going to be. So let's go in to look at the other one. Cosine theta is x which is 3000, because that's your bestie. You can use the number there. 3000 over z. Now, to take a derivative of this, it's just not pretty. I'm going to show you why it's not pretty. If I take a derivative of this, it's going to be negative sine theta and d theta dt is equal to, well, how do I take a derivative of this? You had to move the z up and then take a derivative of power rule. So it'd be 3000 times -1 and z to the -2 and the dz dt. I don't like this. First of all, it's really hard to take a derivative when z is on the bottom. It's much easier to take a derivative if the variable is on the top. So this is where your best friend comes in. Your best friend says, hey, you can use me here. It's 3000. Okay, 3000 is on the bottom and the y is on top. Why that is this. So this is a perfect setup. This is a perfect setup because if you set up this way, it's just pretty. Secant squared theta d theta dt is equal to, and for me, like taking derivative of this is not a quotient rule. And I'll show you it's not a quotient rule. It's 1 over 3000 times y. That's literally says that. Because 1 over 3000 times y is same thing as y over 3000. Is that okay? So that's going to be 1 over 3000 and the dy dt. Am I doing okay? Now I'm going to plug in. So I'm going to say d theta dt. I'm going to move the secant square to the other side too. So it's equal to 1 over 3000 times 800. Because that's a dy dt. And also here I'm going to plug in, that's going to be 1 over secant squared theta. And that's equal to 8 over 30 because 100 kind of cancel out. And this one's going to be cosine squared theta. I moved to the top. And you go to post on internet. Can I post that part? 4 over 15 is equal to, in this case, it's going to be 3 over 5. It's actually 3000 over 5000. But the thing is they cancel down. So if they cancel down, I'm going to work it here. So it'll be 4 over 15 times 3 over 5 square. Am I going too fast? So 4 over 15 times 9 over 25. This one can simplify down 5. So that's equal to 12 over 125 radian per second. So that's 1/10 of a radian per second. So remember, radian is 57 degrees. So 1/10 of that is roughly 5.7 degrees per second. That's how fast the camera had to change. 5 degrees is just a little bit. It's like a little bit. But it's 5 degrees per second though. So it's every second. Just think about if you have 10 seconds later, it's a 50 degrees. 50 degrees opened up this far already. Does that make sense? Yes.
For degree problems, is radians a second, is that just its standard unit? Like, if the question gives us in degrees, do we have to look to radians, or can we use it in degrees?
Use radian. The calculator only use radian. They don't use degree at all. So in later on, when we take calculator, the problem is most of you guys taking physics, you have to make sure convert the calculator from degree to radians. If you don't, then you screw up half the test. So I will remind you that day, I will go in there and I will tell you, says, make sure that change your setting, or you're going to remind each other. Change to radian. In physics, you're going to use in degrees. I think, right? In physics, you guys use degree, right? Oh, you convert, okay. So do you understand now why the bestie is gonna be useful here? Got it? Okay, now you're gonna try a problem. Now, do you have any question before I go on? For the A, it's 640. So for A, it's 640. So I'm gonna do that really quickly. So they're all changing. So it's gonna be No, this is actually 3000 and change plus y squared equal to z squared. So if I take a derivative with respect to time, it's going to be 2y dy dt plus 2z dz dt. And that's equal to 2 times y is equal to 4000. And dy dt is 800. And equal to 2. And z is, don't know, 5000. And dz dt is what we're trying to find, right? So dz dt will end up to be 640 in this case, feet per second. Are we okay? How many of you guys got 12 over 125? Raise your hand. Okay, very good. Rest of you guys, do you know how to do it now? Okay, now you guys gonna try it. It doesn't matter. You can, sometimes you have to do cotangent, tangent, secant, cotangent. I don't know what other trig function that you're gonna be using, but there are 6 options. Make sure tricks on the bottom. Oh, by the way, hold on a second. Let me go back to that. Why do I don't use dz? I don't use cosine. Second reason I don't use cosine is dz dt. What if you find your dz dt and you got 680 instead of 640? That means you base on the carry-on errors. As I think in physics called carry-on error. Is that what I call it? It's you use the wrong information because the information you get from the other one is actually not giving. So that's why you don't use cosine. It's not because derivative is hard. Derivatives, it's okay. It's still doable. It's not great, but it's also not the worst. And the dz dt is also here. So that's not the best place to use because you rely on if you get part A correctly to do part B. Then what if your part A is wrong? Then your part B is screwed too. Are we okay? Okay, got it. Next question. Also, the answer had to make sense too, please. This one. So we're going to talk about this one. You're going to do this one. See if you got -3 over 500. Before you move on, ask other person, which trig ratio did you use? Your answer should get -3 over 500. Read the question carefully, annotate, are they walking away or like walking toward the lights? Those are all information that you need to annotate. I think as a math student, you never annotate stuff. You annotate when you deal with histories, but I don't know if you annotate with math. Sheila, did you annotate with math? No. Do you annotate for other stuff?
No.
Physics?
I mean, no, like me myself, I don't annotate. Like that doesn't help me.
Oh.
But like for different subjects, I have.
Which one? Which subject you use?
Like if you want, you can annotate for
History?
like. Yeah.
Language
right?
arts?
Like when you read a passage. No, not really.
No.
No.
Does anybody use annotation?
I kind of do for like SAT.
SAT?
reading.
Oh. What'd you say, Darby?
It's possible to be negative number.
Area is not going to be negative.
I'm doing the definition of an interval for the last test. I think we usually get 18.
You haven't redo that test yet?
I won't ask. Yeah, I left on Thursday. You can't even spell best. Yeah, come on.
Let's tie.
That's so.
Let's tie. Now I know how to spell.
6 times 3 is 18, right? Yes.
SMH. That's what my son always do. My son's like, Sigh.
What?
Sorry.
Like when he's sighing,
Like, yeah. Then you actually say it. You actually sigh. Sigh.
when you're mad, like
Mad. Laughing.
You does that? Yeah. Younger generation, I think. It's a younger generation thing. Which trick function did you use? Cosine's the wrong thing to use.
The wrong one?
You probably had the wrong constant too.
Okay.
Negative cosine.
Hear me out.
I was right.
I
Negative.
Oh.
I'm gonna myself. Angry.
No, sigh is the best one. Sigh. You can do it while you're doing the sigh.
And then
I swear, this is a like 4th grade or 5th grade thing.
wait, is it a D? So C can.
Not being able to spell Bessie is like semi-weird.
X.
You know what?
A lot younger than that.
No, I'm old. What?
The X is given to you. Exactly. So let him find DZ.
I'm graying? Oh, I do. I have thought. My son would sit behind the car and he'd start pulling all the gray hair.
You know this?
Ready?
So. Okay. And then I did the
That's right.
and then
X. Yeah.
it's a negative.
Wait.
Because I'm.
This one's hard.
It's negative signs.
Why are we allowed to use? Look at the numbers first and then do the math. That's what I would do.
Down this one. All the calculations gonna be by him.
Oh, man.
So what's
Finding
we're like
using oh,
sorry, not six.
It's easy. Usually it's 3, 4, 5, 5, 12, 13,
but I don't want to find my ones.
24, 25,
You
7.
have to somewhere or the other.
You have to know some basic Pythagorean triplets. I wonder how your SAT class teach you.
Wait, no.
Like they should teach you stuff like that. 3, 4, 5, 5, 12, 13.
Yeah.
Those are easy information. You
Yes,
don't need a
but
calculation with that.
105.
That's why people finish SAT without calculator. I think Sheila did a SAT without calculator, and you got 780, right? You did a SAT without calculator.
I got recognized.
You got recognized.
Weird. No, not I got recognized for being like you would have gotten exactly.
No, she wouldn't.
International.
She would.
In the section, I got 10 and I still got recognized.
How you got 10 wrong?
Without the calculator. I couldn't do 10 of them. I did all the ones that were easy, but then I did
Yeah,
them
we
like.
can make it like backwards.
But you can estimate.
You can estimate. I did that all the other ones. I don't have
You got
a-
10 wrong. That's disappointing.
If I had my calculator, guess what? I might be a sick. Someone who was smart got 10 wrong.
It's probably will.
It's not Will, it's like someone else. But I don't want to say.
So simplify to 100
Drop
times.
8.
Drop it
I
in
know
now.
I've gotten all of them right. If I got if I got
Be a
all of
hundred.
them,
Oh.
100.
I got you, bro.
right?
Sure.
100.
But you know what I mean. I know you're just saying that. to be funny,
Bro,
but
I had it. I just.
be funny.
Dude, I just got no lazy.
But it's trying to be funny. That's
Oh,
not
yeah,
like-
that's true. You always try to-
I'm very funny.
You know that.
Then it-
You just like do some random and some do some like
Name your.
You're rubbing off on Steve. You're in the class, okay?
No, it seems pretty bad. It seems awful. I don't say those things he said.
Rationalizing it? Rationalizing it?
I think it's all about the tunnel.
It's
like-
to make the triangle.
Okay.
So it's 500 times root
I'm
500.
gonna ask him. Sorry.
Root 500. And then you're gonna use this as opposite there. It's 5. Those two are gonna.
Oh, he will tell you.
That side is the triangle. If you square root 500, it's 500. You could probably do it the other way too. It's just
Wait,
I mean,
no.
make no sense for me that way. So you need to have the 100 in the front.
Yeah.
That's the concept.
And then click on this.
So instead of doing that right now, how about you just use this or this?
Oh, number one.
Yeah. So opposite over adjacent is what? What are you doing opposite? Right. So the opposite would be
Tangent?
yeah,
Cotangent?
cotangent.
Yeah, you
Would be adjacent over opposite.
Yeah, it would-
So you do cotangent of
It is-
A,
it's
so we can call it
We're gonna do
Over
that
100.
1 over 1.
and then do the derivatives.
What did you do? I did cosine first. and then
You just find out?
Sorry.
It would be negative. Like, guys blocking the angle. He's skipping, but not really. Instead of using the.
What's that, Lion King?
That's the constant.
What?
Yeah, because this person is walking away. So that's gonna change and that's gonna block. That
And then after that, it's like.
Yes, that's what I want.
Oh, then that's on Monday.
I messed up here.
what is the question asked for?
It's for 50,000.
You do have to remind pay due though. Not many people pay. I think it's probably 15 people pay.
I think so.
I asked you.
When you do
It's a lot of math.
inverse sine with the
That's a
inverse.
smart girl over there.
Exactly what this guy said.
She's
Okay,
smarter than
that's
me.
No, wait, what?
Miss Jamasi. Sorry, you got corrected.
What's your idea? Also, are we ever gonna go over 27?
We can try, but I don't know if we have time.
Yeah.
But that one's not on the test, so.
Negative over negative cosine squared. So I'm not adding up, bro.
What did you do?
Negative 3.
You got 93 over 500?
Yeah.
Vincent's,
No.
It's a little confusing.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Oh.
Oh, wait, you said negative 3 over 500?
93.
Hey, I forgot.
Keep it all the same.
Oh, I didn't realize you guys were wrong.
One over cosine.
Wait, no, that was
Opposite over hypotenuse over adjacent.
So if you got 93 over 500, I want you to try this question. This one is the second one, is angle one.
Did you get your? You get this far?
How was BYU?
It was so cool. It snowed.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't been in the snow in years.
I kind of want to see snow. I haven't seen snow 45 years of my life. I never see snowing. I see snow. I see snow on the ground. I'm like, I wish it's snowing. I want to see snowing.
How old are you?
I'm almost 45. 43, 44. I don't know how old I am. I'm gonna keep a track. I'm just one day away from dying.
You're as old as my dad. My father.
What?
You're as old as my dad. You could be my father. Alright, wait. Did you get here? If the light is blue, which one did you use? Of course you can. Of this angle.
This one I got 4 over 5. Amir, do you got 4 over 5?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is
No. Yeah, I didn't hear we got.
It's 2 dx dt. Or
That's right.
being the shoreline.
So yeah, over
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
this is 1 over sine. So we get rid of that.
Wait. And then negative sign is over hypotenuse.
Side.
And the one side,
100. And
The worst part is mitosis. I swear, like he stomped by my toe. I'm like mitosis.
you just cancel
Oh,
out.
yeah.
5 squared.
Yeah. And then he has
1 over. That's
Right.
C is 1 over 5. So then that would become 1 over. Why doesn't change?
Wait, could you one?
Wait, where did you get negative 3 at?
Well, because it's he's going this way. Isn't he?
One side.
Oh no, he's going back.
Yeah.
Yeah. That should be 1 over.
Okay, so 13. Hopefully you got 4 or 5. If you got 4 or 5, you're excellent. Set up the right trig identity.
Let me try to spell this.
sine. Also, you have the
1 half.
right.
Think about it as 1 half. 1 half squared is 1 over 4. So 1 minus 1 over 4.
Yeah, you have the right.
What's that?
Oh, wait, you know, you flip the triangle.
Adjacent
Okay, wait. I have to be.
This
3 is the right answer, right? Can I keep that? That's a very cool board.
Okay, I know, I have like.
You guys, hey, you guys are complaining about your math. Look at what BC's doing.
Screaming internally.
He just show every step.
Negative.
It's not, wow. I feel like there's better problems to like demonstrate. It's so hard to satisfy you.
I know, right? She just gotta.
Yeah. One step. Well, no, but the it's 3? Just like a P. I thought. Maybe I.
Do the integration. Actually, do the integration. You can double.
The beam is 1 mile
Yeah. Look, my concert that I wrote the other day, I'm gonna
I did it this way, so. But the elevation. He's doing it. He's doing it.
So if that's the, one mile. Then this small function. No, I'll put it as the hypotenuse. Why? Yeah. How would that be?
See, this time here.
1 mile.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything else.
Yeah, I did check my.
Yeah, I mean, it's perpendicular.
I don't want to make this back down because I feel like I'm. Yeah.
No, the thing about it is, if the only thing
No.
is the one, if one, only one vacuum is the one.
Oh.
Another.
Beam is
Oh,
one
so
side
the-
from
when he's
perpendicular.
talking about it, when I know what it's all, right? But when it's a lot, that's when it's like.
Yeah, yeah. This is
Well,
that's
why
Yeah, it's very hard for me.
That's the beam.
Oh.
That's the perpendicular.
I was thinking
Yeah.
that word just doesn't make sense in my head. 1 mile from
Yeah.
1 mile from perpendicular. So this is the 1 mile from perpendicular. This is perpendicular. 1 mile from perpendicular.
For some reason,
Not
I was-
this one. This one
for
doesn't
some reason
go
I was thinking like perpendicular like this.
This one doesn't go like perpendicular.
That's just, it just didn't make sense in my head.
No, I can see the basic, so
Wait, is it the shoreline? No, I can do it.
No, I can do this. Hold on, hold on.
So your pet was the emperor?
No, like. Those.
I want to go.
Oh, wait, oh, shit.
That's already
answered.
Yeah.
Hey guys, pause and.
4/5.
I am just 4/5.
So your test on Thursday, you're probably going something new.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm studying like.
You know why? It's dancing, it's
Oh,
wild.
this
It's like, bro, get your mind in the game.
not good. If you're looking at this angle.
Don't have to.
And there's.
I've been writing my like comment on this every single day.
You said this.
I wrote it and it was like, it